Morning, I'm Doug Schoen. I'm here with my friends and colleagues, John LeBoutelier and Pat Goodell. We are Political Insiders, 7:30 Sunday night, Fox News Channel with Harris Faulkner. Today we're going to talk about Jeb Bush and his candidacy. John, he made some remarks in an interview with Megyn Kelly, which I believe will air on Monday night, and subsequently on her program, where he said he would have gone to war with Iraq. What's your take on those comments and more generally the Jeb Bush candidacy?
I think that these remarks were a mistake for former Governor Bush to say. I think he didn't think it through in advance. He has been saying, I'm my own man, and here he's embraced his brother's most tragic decision of all. And he's effectively become the candidate for the third George W. Bush term, and that's a losing proposition. And Pat, before the show, said he should have embraced his father's position on the thing. That was the more responsible one, and he could still get away with it, but he didn't. And I think the Jeb Bush candidacy is imperiled. He's not doing well among the voters, not doing well in Iowa, mediocre in New Hampshire.
Where is Jeb Bush doing well?
Bundlers. He's raising money. He's going to prove that money. He's going to be the equivalent,
like Phil Gramm,
of
John
Connally.
Oh, right.
$13 million and one delegate.
Right.
Back when $13 million was a lot of money in politics. Right. It's amazing to me. I think this may have been the greatest political disaster you could have. He was already not connecting well with voters, running his own campaign. His advisors on foreign policy are all the people who engineered his brother's
Wolfowitz.
Well, the entire disaster in Iraq, only compounded by Obama's, I want to say, both parties have done the worst. Two presidents have done more damage by their actions. In going in there, and Jeb Bush, after saying, I'm my own man, as you just said, has confirmed he's not. And the fact is, if you're going to be George W. Bush's third term, and look, I'm as an analyst, even a Democrat, as an analyst, George W. Bush destroyed much of what Reagan had built, the two pillars of the Republican Party: prudence in foreign policy and cutting government spending. Instead, they had flooded spending, thinking like with the Medicare extension,
prescription drug Part D,
that they would Part D, that they would get old people. I mean, it was just the worst. They spent money like a drunken sailor, and they did the.
And by the way, Pat and Doug, the rise of the Tea Party, it should be made clear, was a revolution against the George W. Bush / Republican Congress spending us into oblivion,
yes.
And Obama. It's not just Obama, it's both of them.
Here's the problem with that. When I was in 1980, we raised defense spending. The Carter administration did a great deal. And then after we lost, we raised it even more, thinking that'll fix Reagan, who's been saying that. So Reagan walks in and says, you gave me this much, I'm going to get this much more. And the defense spending really went very, very high. And that's the same that happened on the opposite end on domestic spending. When a Republican spends as wildly as Bush does, the Democrats come in and say, hey, if you're going to do this, we'll still trump that. Okay. But Bush has pulled the rug out of his, not intentionally, but I sadly say, because I think he's a good man, pull the rug out from under his party, and his brother now has embraced that. And as far as I'm concerned, I think he's a dead man.
Is he a dead man, John?
No, he's not dead because there's no one else doing great.
Well, that's true.
And
he was leading the Wall Street Journal poll, was he?
Yeah,
not?
He was. But so I would not say he's dead. I would say he's in trouble.
On life support?
Yeah. Not life support. He's limping along.
He better find a rationale for a candidacy that somebody wants to vote for.
I would say this. Of all the guys and gals running, 3 at the moment could be nominated. Bush, Rubio, Walker. None of the others could be the nominee, but there's a gigantic vacuum for someone else to come in here.
We've got to wrap this up, and I'm going to ask a quick question. John LeBoutelier, who will be the Republican nominee?
He's not in the race yet.
Pat?
Well, they may be in the race, but they haven't gotten their message yet. But somebody, look, it's someone who runs in this party against the party establishment. Okay. Let me say, you have Mitch McConnell embracing Obama.
The word was quick.
We will have more on the presidential election, both Democratic and Republican primaries, Sunday night, 7:30, Fox News Channel with Harris Faulkner. See you then.